I just want to let y'all know that I found somebody.
Guys, we have breaking 1,000 Pound Sisters news. You are not going to believe this. So we have known for a while that Tammy and Caleb have split up, but it seems like she's already got a new man. So here's the deal. Supposedly, Tammy's now dating a man named Greg Morgan, but there's a lot about the alleged relationship that already seems just straight up messed up. I'm not fully convinced that he's not just using her, especially because of what he does for work, but it also just seems like Tammy's yet again jumping into a relationship as a way to feel validated and good about herself, and it's honestly pretty heartbreaking. And you guys will not believe what I was able to find out about Greg and Tammy. So Tammy's new boyfriend is nothing like Caleb. From what we do know about him, it seems like this new guy, Greg, is really into fitness, and in a way, that might actually be good for Tammy. Now, obviously, her relationship with Caleb was pretty concerning because of the worry that he might drag her down, but it looks like she broke up with him because he just could not follow through with his diet and life plans, and now she's reportedly dating this new guy who doesn't seem to have the same issues. But that is not to say that there aren't any issues, because honestly, you guys, this guy actually seems to have quite a few potential red flags. So starting with the fact that he's apparently only 25 years old, so that means that he's over 10 years younger than Tammy because she's 36. So it's a pretty big age gap, and obviously, they're both adults, so this might not actually mean anything bad, but I still think it's a little strange, especially considering all of the things I was able to find out about him. Now, one thing I read was that Tammy and Greg supposedly met on a dating app, but another report suggested that they actually met on TikTok, and honestly, I think that's way more likely, mainly because Greg seems to be an inspiring influencer, and a lot of the stuff we do know about him actually comes from his TikTok, and he seems to post on there, fairly regularly, and I've even seen people describe him as a small content creator, and Tammy's obviously pretty active on TikTok too, so it would just make sense if the two of them, met there and not on a dating app. And there was also this one report going around that they've already met up in person too, and apparently they have hung out a handful of times because supposedly Greg traveled from Indianapolis, where he lives, to Kentucky just to see Tammy. And I've even read that he's also met up with some of Tammy's family members, which is definitely some interesting info. But again, it makes me kind of worried about this whole thing, because she and Caleb did just split up not too long ago, and now she's allegedly, has this new guy that she's already introducing to her family. Like, I am just not sure how I feel about that, but honestly, my main worry is that Tammy is again making wrong choices when it comes to her romantic relationships, because like I said, Greg is pretty active on TikTok. He goes by the username PrinceXVYGN, and he even has his Cash App name in his bio, so it's not clear if this is how he actually makes money. From what I've seen, I wouldn't be surprised if his goal was to become a professional TikToker or something like that, but right now he actually doesn't have a massive platform. He only has like 2,500 followers, which in reality is not a lot, and this really brings me to my biggest worry about all of this, and I feel like it's not that unlikely that Greg might be using Tammy for some social media clout. And obviously, we don't know for sure if the two of them are even actually together or not, but they have interacted on social media, which I think has probably boosted Greg's profile quite a lot. And at one point, Tammy left a comment on his profile saying, "Aw, you love me," and he himself made a few posts referencing Tammy and their alleged relationship. And what he said about all of this is actually really interesting too. He seemed to imply that they were just friends, but it's actually a little more complicated than that, because Greg posted this one video with a couple of screenshots of all the different news articles about him and Tammy, and he wrote, "This is really irritating, like people just can't be friends, this is crazy," and he tagged Tammy, and this did make me think that maybe there was nothing to the rumors, but then he seemingly contradicted himself pretty much right away in the comment section under the post, because he responded to someone in the comments by telling them to watch the next season of the show, which is actually something that he also told In Touch Weekly when they reached out to him for a comment, and he said, "Tune in the next season because you might get what you're waiting for." And obviously, this wasn't exactly a confirmation or anything either, but I think it's bizarre that he complained about people spreading spreading rumors, but then fueled the rumors in the same breath. And I think that he might actually be trying to keep up this whole mystery, because in another comment under his post, someone said congratulations, and he responded with don't do that. And again, this seemed like he was implying that he and Tammy were just friends, which he also did in an earlier TikTok, and this was one of him in bed responding to a comment about him and Tammy, and someone said that it was just all for the money, but he told that person that they should just go find something else to do. And then in the caption, he wrote that he and Tammy were friends and that everyone needed to chill. And with all these conflicting comments, it's kind of hard to say what exactly his and Tammy's relationship looks like now. Maybe they are just friends, but if they're not, I'm going to be seriously worried for Tammy, not just because Greg might just be using her for clout, but also because it kind of seems like she just has this need for romantic validation. And I mean, on the one hand, if she's already dating someone else, good for her. She's been doing amazing. This is really the healthiest that she has ever been, and she's clearly living her life to the fullest. But on the other hand, she's kind of known for jumping into relationships, especially with men who are really just using her, and I'm just worried that this might be another situation like that. And I really think she needs to focus on herself right now and work on really loving herself, because obviously she should be allowed to be happy and feel good about herself, but I really think that this kind of thing needs to come from the inside first, and she's not going to fix anything by seeking validation elsewhere, especially not if she keeps dating all these men that don't actually love her for her. And I mean, I'm not saying that this is definitely the case with Greg. Honestly, we don't know a lot about the guy. We don't even know if they're actually dating. The only thing we kind of know is that he might be in the next season of the show, but that's about it. But even if this guy actually is interested in Tammy and genuinely likes her, I'm not sure that the timing is right at this point, because like I said, she's been doing incredibly well lately, and the improvements she's made have just been unbelievable. And I think that she should maybe stay focused on that for a little bit longer before jumping into another relationship. And then again, at the end of the day, I do mainly just want her to be happy. And if this guy is genuine and they are actually in a healthy relationship, then I hope that everything works out for them. But it's honestly, it's just hard to say what's going on right now. And I think I'm just a little concerned for Tammy, because I don't want her to get hurt again. But anyway, what do you guys think about all this? Do you think that Tammy might be dating Greg, or do you think that they are just friends? And why do you think Tammy keeps getting into all these relationships? Guys, let me know in the comments down below.